coming up. He's got speed and he's built for ignition at the top of his batting.
2K wanted to spin off of their simulation MLB games, and this led to stupid things like stickball and these bargain bin Mario Party Wii shovelware games. This also led to the Bigs, an over-the-top arcade baseball game in the same vein as the MLB Slugfest games. Insert steroid baseball joke here.
Everybody's on steroids.
The Big starts off with this 2K Sports logo. Isn't it just crazy that out of all these sports represented, 2K today only makes games for 2 of them? Crazy how time moves. Anyway, jumping straight into the game, and this may or may not be controversial, but I'm not a fan of the presentation of this game. The graphics look fine, but the Bigs decides to go with these muscled up character models, and I never liked this look in games. I get that it's supposed to be over the top, including the character models, but Slugfest games just have realistic proportions, and those games are fine. Trust me, I don't need the character models to look like brick shithouses that all look like they injected synthol in their arms before the game started.
You're on steroids.
Outside of that, they also did black players dirty in this game. Like, why does Carlos Delgado look like we haven't unlocked him yet? Like, these people have dark skin, but that's no reason for them to look like a descendant of Noob Saibot. You have the big home runs, crazy catches and whatnot, but I think a lack of showmanship is missing from these games. A lack of character. I understand you can't have fights like in Slugfest, but Slugfest has these little animations that's more than just I hit the ball far or I made a diving catch.
What the fuck is you doing, cuz?
Show me a celebration. Even when you hit a walk-off home run, your guy crosses the plate, he's by himself, and he does the Chris Jericho pose, I guess, and that's it. If it's a routine fly ball, let me do some taunting or tricks or whatever on the way to catching the ball. It could be an incentive-based thing. As far as the actual gameplay goes, I'd say the Bigs is pretty good for the most part. On the surface level, it's simple, but it's actually deeper than one would think. When hitting, you use the left analog stick to aim your hit. You can also move the batter around when doing this. Woo, 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 woo. You have a contact swing for line drives and a power swing for power. Hitting is quite difficult when you first start out because pitches move at comically different speeds with comically different breaks to them, but you do get used to it after a while. When pitching, you stop a meter. If you stop it past the line, your pitch will be executed with a very slight hit to accuracy. If you are below this line, the location of your pitch will be revealed and the batter can take advantage. If you stop the meter at the top perfectly, it will be a perfectly executed pitch. A pitcher's pitch arsenal has a pitch rated on a 5-star scale. You can't just spam your best pitch because the more that pitch gets hit, the more meter it loses, and when the meter is depleted, it's like you're a Pokemon that forgot a move, except you aren't learning a new one in return. That shit's just gone. While yes, you are playing baseball, the real game is the 2 meters above. This is the whole meta of the game. Turbo and the other one whose name I forgot, I'm just gonna call it the Big Slam meter. Turbo is 5 gauges that can be used in every situation. When batting, it forces the pitcher to throw strikes in the strike zone and makes your hitter better. For pitching, you can throw even crazier moving pitches with crazy velocity. You can also use it to speed up a base runner or a fielder. You can use it on your throws for faster throws. Turbo is a big help, but how can you get Turbo? You can stream it on Apple TV. All right, I'm sorry. You can get Turbo by getting strikes as a pitcher or taking pitches out of the strike zone as the batter. See, now this is why I say the meters are the most important thing in this game. While it is very difficult to not swing at bad pitches because of the movement of them, if you draw a 4-pitch walk in this game, the amount of turbo meter you get is crazy, and this very thing can turn a game around even if you're down big, pun not intended. You're never really out of a game, but I mean that in a good way, not in a way where you suck at the game but the game just gives you pity items. You have to earn that 4-pitch walk to get the turbo meter. Well, what about that other meter? When this is filled, you get a home run if you could just connect with a pitch. Or if you are a pitcher, your pitches are used at max potential. Things can get pretty tense when a batter activates this because as a pitcher, how do you counter? Do you use your turbo or do you activate your big meter to start this duel? If the pitcher gets 3 pitches by the batter, he wins and gets a refill of this meter. Lots of things going on here, and a lot of this is pretty good. But the game's not perfect. The main thing is how the game controls, more so on defense. I know these are gigantic 280-pound dudes, but they don't have to control like it. Also, your computer-controlled teammates are like scared of the ball or some shit because they will just stand there and look at the ball without going after it. You could say that I should control them instead of having the CPU do it, but why would the players I'm not controlling actively run away from the ball? Like I mentioned earlier, the game doesn't have any flair to it. They try with these home runs that could possibly lead to a potential lawsuit. On defense, there's these opportunities to make crazy catches, but the crazy catches are just QuickTime events. You get a chance to do something like rob a home run, and it's just some QuickTime event. Then it plays an animation where it's like, ooh, you caught the ball. This stuff is anti-gameplay. It gives you the substance of doing something cool, like punching a bowler, without the satisfaction of actually doing it. Not a fan. Foreshadowing. Ooh. Game modes. Home run derby. Not much to say here. You hit home runs. First to 10 home runs wins. It's a fine little mode. Home run pinball. Here's the mode I spent the most time with when I played this game. You are in Times Square and a guy throws stuff at you, just like in real life. You hit baseballs into signage, cars, and whatever else to rack up score. There are certain lettered signs where if you break all the letters, you have an opportunity to activate a score multiplier or multi-balls or fast pitches. When you fill up this meter, you can hit things like the ball. Check this out.
Wait.
Okay, now check this out.
One more time. Here, wait.
Okay, now check this out. Ah, fuck it. Home run pinball's fun. The main mode is Rookie Challenge. You create your guy and you build him up on this MLB journey. You start off in spring training, then it opens up some, but this mode is fairly linear. You have to follow set paths to do these challenges. These challenges can be scenarios where you have to come back from a deficit or get a certain amount of hits with your player, or just a regular 5-inning game where you could steal players from that team. The better you perform with your player, the more points you get to dump into your player's ratings. I always have him use the big blast when I earn it to get his numbers up. This mode is fun, albeit a little repetitive. And that's the bigs. A pretty good game that can use some improvements. Does the sequel improve on... hold on, wait a minute. Does the sequel... Oh, wait 1 second. Okay, cool. Does the... Alright man, what the fuck? The Bigs 2 would release 2 years later. This game improves on the visuals as MLB players have normal proportions and black people don't look like they're going through reverse vitiligo anymore. Though I don't know why players have this muffin top. I know it's supposed to be the jersey, but it stands out so much it looks like everyone's just fat and rocking a dad bod. Presentation is still meh overall. You can knock signs off of the stadium and stuff, but in terms of gameplay, one of the big new additions is the hot zones. Batters have hot zones of various sizes, where if a pitch is in that zone, the batter has a higher chance of getting a hit. So as a pitcher, you'd want to avoid these zones, right? Well, kinda. If you throw in their hot zone and the batter misses, you get even more turbo than you would normally. So once again, it's a risk versus reward system that makes things interesting. The other big new thing added was the rating system. It's still stars, but players can have the rank of legendary, which surpasses 5 stars. And this introduces the worst thing in this game: legendary fielding opportunities. If you have good enough fielders, you have these chances to make spectacular catches, which are just done by doing a damn QuickTime event. I play as the Mets, who have a lot of good fielders at the time, so I get these legendary chances about half the time, sometimes even back to back. The catches look cool, sure, but once again, you do nothing to get these, and they can even be pace breakers because your crazy baseball game is interrupted by fucking Parappa the Rapper gameplay. The thing is that doing these legendary catches gives you an absurd amount of big slam meter, so the whole game is built around this. You can even trigger it on routine plays to farm more meter. I've never played a baseball game where fielding is such a focal point. Even if you fill up the big slam meter, there's an extra section that needs to be filled up. If you do that, you get this opportunity for a grand slam. You have 4 pitches and 4 batters. 1 pitch per batter. Each batter's goal is to get a single until the bases are loaded. When they're loaded, then the batter goes for a home run. I like this, but once again, having such a game-changing thing like this tied to these QuickTime events,
That's stupid!
those are the main additions. Hot zones are cool, legendary fielding is garbage, the new big slam thing is cool, As far as everything else, it's relatively the same. We have a lot more minigames this time. Power minigame. You try and hit signs with the batter to rack up score. Some targets are worth more than others, but these blue ones are worth way less, but they have an effect of your opponent facing a special pitch. This is my favorite minigame that's not home run pinball. Next is the contact minigame. You have to time your swings to make contact. There are green balls to hit, and when you get 3 of them, a ton of them will be shot at you. This one hurts my eyes, especially when the balls you hit bounce off the wall and come right in your face.
Pause.
But it's a fun distraction. The glove minigame, cool aesthetic, but guess what? Quicktime events. Then we have the speed minigame, which is the weirdest just based on concept alone. You are placed on a random building and have to race another player to reach home plate. You go down zip lines, traverse obstacles, and balance on beams. If you ever wanted to see a baseball player truck through a bike, well, here you go. But this thing is just more QuickTime events. Home run pinball, no QuickTime events here. Just irreversible property damage. But this time you could do it in Tokyo or Las Vegas. I guess they made it easier in this one, or I was just off playing the first game because I was getting way higher scores this time. There's a season mode in this one which is welcomed, though don't expect anything crazy. It's the most bare bones season you could possibly play. The real notable thing here is that in order to make trades, you have to build up a meter and win a minigame of Match 'em. I have to give points for originality. I've never seen anything like this before. Become a Legend mode. This starts off promising. You get injured and have to rebuild your career in Mexico, and when I say rebuild your career, it's 2 games before you can choose an MLB team. This mode is essentially the same as the rookie mode in the first game. Even the first couple of teams I faced are the exact same: Nationals, Rockies, and Pirates. This mode is worse because they changed one thing. In the first game you had to win, but it was also important for your specific player to play well, because if your player played well, then that led to you getting points to spend on your guy. This aspect is completely taken out of the Bigs 2. Instead, you upgrade your guy with these mini games you come across, which makes a linear mode even more linear. It doesn't feel like it's my journey on the New York Mets. It just feels like I'm the Mets and they just let me tag along. Oh, and there's Legends now. Cool. The Bigs 2 adds improvements that makes the game better and makes the game worse. Does the Bigs 3 improve on things? Well, we'll never know. There was no Bigs 3. This is due to a multitude of factors that you can choose from. Blue Castle Games, which was the developer, were bought out by Capcom and then shut down years later. The Bigs 2 didn't sell all that well. Even at the very least, it sold less than the Bigs 1 if VG charts is to be believed. Also, it got a worse critic score. I'm also going to point out that 2K was losing market in the baseball video game space to the MLB The Show series, which made baseball games more and more unprofitable with each passing year for 2K games. But if you want to split hairs, there was technically a Bigs 3, or rather a game that used the Bigs engine. Yeah, Nicktoons MLB, or as I like to call, a living nightmare. I'm sure some loser on YouTube did a video on this game before. The Bigs was pretty much an end of an era as far as mainline arcade sports titles to be released. I mean, think about it. Midway was already dead at this time, EA Sports Big was defunct, and the NFL Blitz and NBA Jam games by EA were relegated to downloadable only titles, along with every other game in a similar vein. While the Bigs was never great, it had promise. They just needed to put that promise into gameplay that's not David Cage-esque.